What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Roxette, and we're going to continue through their 1986 album Pearls of Passion, and the next tune is Call of the Wild. Now, as someone who's read the Jack London novel, that's immediately what it makes me think of, as well as the opposite yet companion piece, White Fang. More generally, the idea of Call of the Wild, the idea that no matter how much humans have sophisticated themselves in our global urban-based civilization, the idea among those who would make the suggestion about the Call of the Wild is that we are fundamentally still, emotional and animalistic creatures who are prone to crude and simplistic behavior, and therefore we're only like one environmental stimulus away from like reverting to an earlier behavioral form, even if we're wearing a suit and carrying a briefcase. Again, from a historical standpoint, modern urban-based global civilization has been around for a few thousand years. Anatomically, modern humans existed for at least multiple tens of thousands of years, if not more than 100,000 years before that. And ultimately, for most of that time, we lived in scattered, hunter-gatherer bands. And so, in one respect, I think historically the idea of Call of the Wild is legitimate in the sense that, over an evolutionary timescale, 6,000 to 7,000 years really isn't all that much time, and therefore the idea that we are not perfectly suited, psychologically or socially to the type of civilization that has dominated human affairs for several thousand years now, that does resonate with me as a historian and someone who studies like anthropology. Now, as to whether a Roxette tune will have to do with any of that, I have no idea. But again, Call of the Wild fundamentally makes me think about a sophisticated entity that is nevertheless always feeling a tug, a pull toward an earlier and more simple and perhaps cruder form of life. So we'll have to see if that's a metaphor. We'll have to see if it relates perhaps to like, a relationship dynamic where someone like gets into a relationship where they want to be committed and so on, but they feel the call of the wild, so they have one foot like out the door in the relationship. I feel like there are ways in which you could make it a metaphor about more like modern human activities, but I guess we'll find out. This is Roxette. The tune is Call of the Wild, and it's from their 1986 album Pearls of Passion.
I know her, and every notion I get from her, I wear inside me. I know her, all of the broken leaves of her, she leaves behind. Oh, don't you hide away from the rain. Oh, can you tell me the name of the skin? I gotta get through to you. Behind the door, another wall, a lonely cry, call of the wild. A dancing days, an empty face, a crystal high, call of the wild. There is something that's sweeter than the lover's stone, the call of the broken heart. Wrapped in the night, behind these eyes, oh hear the cry, call of the wild. In my mind I dream of her, how she aches without me. I know her, and every heart is a lonely hunter when she walks by. Oh, can you read the hurt in my eyes?
I can hear it in what you're saying.
Oh, don't you leave without saying goodbye. I gotta get through to you. Behind the door, another wall, a lonely cry, call of the wild.
One of my favorites so far.
A dancing days, an empty face, a crystal eye.
He can really push it vocally too.
There is something that's sweet and gold, the lover's stone, the call of the broken heart.
Andean, like Andean flute sort of sound.
Behind the door, another wall, a lonely cry on the wire. A dancing days, an empty face, a crystal high call on the wire.
There is something that's sweet and dark that others don't. I call it broken heart.
Wrapped in the night, behind these eyes, I'll hear the cry call on the wire.
Them harmonizing together is very nice. At the very end, I'm noticing the bass all of a sudden. Yeah, really cool tune. Again, they both have amazing vocals. I've been, concentrating a little bit more on Mary's, but that song maybe more than the other. It felt like Per was like really sort of pushing it and sort of reaching some great golden territory himself. And once again, when they started harmonizing with those little like melismas at the end, that was fantastic. So really cool tune. One of my favorites on the album so far. Yeah, just really excited to go through this band's catalog, and it was a great suggestion. Shout out to Yun for suggesting going through this in the first place. And yeah, let me know what you think of this one. Ultimately, I'm not sure what song is next in the catalog or in the playlist. Let me check very quickly. The next tune will be Joy of a Toy, which is an amusing, rhyming little title. I guess we'll think more about that when we come to it, but let me know what you think of this one. I will see you next time. Peace.